I just bought more shares of what I think is the best dividend growth ETF for my dividend growth portfolio. I want to tell you why I did it and share with you the impact that it has on the portfolio. I'm Dave Van Napp for the Dividends and Income channel. Before I get going, please, if you appreciate this content, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to get notifications of new videos when we post them. And also, if you leave a comment below, it notifies you when you get a reply to your comment. Thank you. Okay, let's talk about why I bought more shares of SCHD for my portfolio. You may recall from earlier this year that I researched dividend growth ETFs and held a derby among them, and that the Schwab U.S. Dividend Equity ETF, ticker symbol SCHD, won the derby. Here is a nutshell look at SCHD. While you look at that, I'll tell you what I like about SCHD. First, it has never cut its dividend on an annual basis. Like all ETFs, its quarterly payments vary, but when you add them up to a full year's total, each year has been an increase over the prior year. Second, it has a 10-year streak of raising its total dividend payout every year. I don't know of any ETF that has a longer streak than that. Third, it has a decent yield of 2.9%. That's a mid-range yield as dividend growth stocks go these days. Next, SCHD sports a fast dividend growth rate of 12% per year over the past 5 complete calendar years ending in 2020. In 2020 itself, SCHD raised its dividend by 18%. We won't know the exact increase for 2021 until the ETF announces its final payment in December. And finally, SCHD has one of the lowest expense ratios in the industry at 0.06%. Honestly, there's really nothing that I don't like about SCHD. SCHD holds 100 stocks. The top 10 make up about 40% of its assets, and as you can see from the list, they read like a wish list of quality, high-performing dividend growth stocks. I hold some of those stocks individually in my portfolio, while others I don't, so SCHD makes a fine portfolio diversifier for me. Here are SCHD's annual dividends in dollars, not in percents. You can see that it's never cut them from year to year, and up at the top you see SCHD's 12% dividend growth rate over the past 5 years in the upper right, and its 18% raise in 2020 at the upper left. Before making this purchase of SCHD, I updated my valuation of it as an investment and came up with, I think, the same results that I had earlier, which is that its fair price range is $63 to $77 per share, which is a yield of 3.4% at the lower price and 2.9% at the upper price. As I bought it, SCHD had a price just under $77 per share, so I was able to get it just below the top edge of its fair price range and at a yield of 2.9%. That's why I bought SCHD. Let's take a look at its impact on my portfolio. This display summarizes my purchase this time of SCHD with reinvested dividends. You can see that I bought 6 shares, and that increases the position of SCHD in my portfolio from 0.9% to 1.2% of the portfolio. Those 6 shares cost me $461, and by adding them to the portfolio, my annual income goes up by $14 a year. Okay, this display widens out the look to the whole portfolio, and we see that the additional $14 in annual income raises the annual income to $5,192. That's a 0.2% increase for the portfolio as a whole. That's not quite enough to move the needle on the portfolio's yield on cost, which stays at 11.1% when rounded to just 1 decimal point, but it's another step forward. As this bar graph shows, these small monthly increments add up. This year so far, with 2 months to go, my annual dividend reinvestments by themselves have added $169 to the annual dividend stream, and that's 3.5% more cash than the stream was at the beginning of the year. And that illustrates dividend compounding in action through dividend reinvestment. And on that happy note, I'll say happy Halloween. Thanks for watching, and goodbye, everybody.